Hey, pure billionaire here. With some of the very, very devastating natural disasters that have been happening within the United States, specifically the four wildfires that have taken over Los Angeles, with over 150,000 American citizens being told to evacuate their homes immediately, wanted to have some food for thought on the implications of physically storing bullion when natural disasters seem to be more and more frequent within in this context the United States, but maybe your country too, wherever you're tuning in from. So what are some of the most common natural disasters? Well, right now we're looking at the wildfires, where people are coming back home and there's potentially nothing left. Also, floods are pretty common too. So, what is a safe way to store your physical bullion, and how to kind of anticipate or just prepare for the worst case scenario? Well, what are the options? Well, keeping it in your home is one option. Keeping it, let's say, with a family member who lives in a different location who may not be as prone to natural disasters might be something to consider if you can trust that person, right? The bank safety deposit box. Well, if the banks are closed and you cannot access that safety deposit box, that might not be the most ideal option, but it is still an option. And some people even get insurance on their bullion, but you have to report it, so that has other considerations as well. It's kind of a slippery slope. It really depends on what your best interest is for yourself. Now, what containers might be best? Well, you want something that is probably fireproof, waterproof, easy to take with you in an emergency, and finally, not that heavy. Especially if you're collectors. Imagine, let's say you have thousands of coins that are 90% silver, that were like American quarters, nickels, and dimes from pre-1964. That's going to be quite a heavy load to take to your vehicle or whatever your mode of transportation is. That's why some of the stackers prefer having the 10-ounce bars, because the pure fine silver consolidated in those large amounts, you're getting more bang for your buck in terms of physical real estate, so to speak. And in the house, say you're not home during a natural disaster, you want to keep this storage device away from windows and doors. From, let's say, a major structural event happens, or a tornado, for example. You want to keep it out of the basement from floods, and like I said, keep it in those containers, not out in the open that even other people can see, because don't forget, looting, rioting, there are bad actors who take advantage of these natural disasters that you do not want to be on the receiving end of if you were to leave your house and had to leave something behind. Don't leave it out in the open. Keep it secure. That fireproof, waterproof container, not in the basement, not near the window. Okay, these are a lot of details here, but make it personalized for you, and just start getting in that mindset of, really anything can happen. And just like having physical bullion is like a wealth insurance, well, how can you insure that wealth? That's what we're just kind of spinning the wheels on and creating ideas for. Now, keeping records, maybe not necessarily like through insurance, but just keeping your own pen and paper of what you have can be very helpful too for keeping track. There are plenty of spreadsheets that exist out there of the date you purchased it, what exactly the silver or gold was, how much it weighs, the spot price versus the premium price. This is a pretty good idea, especially if you're stacking more things, like you're doing multiple coins at a time, and then going to bars, and then going to collector's coins, etc. And finally, the worst case is that you have to leave your house. So having it ready to grab and go, but with all of those considerations in effect, is something you might want to think about. Once again, this is just food for thought. We want to have that wealth insurance, but we also want to insure the wealth. In this case, it would be in a physical manner. Let me know what you're thinking, any ideas that you have that I didn't cover today. Would love to expand on this in the future. Have a great day, guys.